GMs, it's very easy to fall into that sort of mindset of, oh no, the players aren't necessarily following the story. They aren't following this path, the stuff that I wrote up. So like, what do I do? How do I get them back on track? And we start overthinking things and sometimes implode a little bit. An easy thing to do is to take a step back. There's a few things you could do for this. You can reevaluate your story and you can discuss with the players themselves. First of all, when you're reevaluating your story, look at it from sort of like almost a storyboard progressive, right? Like for instance, they need to go get a sword. You have information about where the sword is located, so they go to a village there. They talk to a blacksmith. He's like, I'm the one who made that sword. They learn about the people who commissioned the sword, yada, yada, yada. Like they're kind of like going through this whole path. Have it sort of broken down into little points so you can follow along and say like, does this make sense for the players to go do this? Does this make sense for like a linear progression of the story? Then take a look at what the players are doing. What are they interested in? Why are they interested in this? You can start moving your points of story to align with player interests. If the players really want to hunt down a hobgoblin who's been leading a war band and like going around terrorizing places, then maybe that hobgoblin has a sword, or maybe they had it before, but they ended up losing it when they were gambling with a bunch of ogres, right? So you can just sort of start to mix your story and put it to where the players are very interested in. Always have your story feel dynamic and moving. The second thing you could do is talk to your players. Say, hey, I kind of had this idea that you're going to be looking for this sword, and I had a few, places that you can go to, but what is it that you would like to do? What would be something that would be interesting for you to look into about this sword? Then your players are going to give you feedback. Now, you don't have to one-to-one of what they want to do. You can take all the information they're giving you, think about it, look at your own story, and then adjust it based on that information. Never fall into sort of like a static block of, I have to do each of these points, and if I don't, then the story is ruined or the players aren't going to have any fun. Your story is going to be constantly shifting. It's constantly going to be dynamic. It's just sort of the way these improv storytelling things go. So it's perfectly fine if you start to feel that anxiety, that sort of implosion, that, oh no, the players aren't doing the story that I set up, they're not going to have very fun, or this isn't going to make any sense. Just take a step back, take a deep breath, reevaluate.